You finally have a freighter, and now you're kind of scared to touch anything. You open up your inventory, maybe hover over some items, you move something, but then you probably move it back immediately. Not because storage is confusing, but because you're worried you'll lose something, or maybe lock yourself in a bad position, or make a choice you can't undo. And here's the important part. That fear doesn't mean you're playing wrong. It means you reached a point where the game stops being obvious. So let me say this before we go any further. Freighter storage is not a commitment. It's not a build decision. It's not a point of no return. Freighter storage exists to give you breathing room, not to test whether you understand the system yet. Look, if you remember nothing else from this episode, remember this. Storage is about comfort, not correctness. Okay, so here's the truth about this. Anything you put into freighter storage is safe. It doesn't decay, it doesn't downgrade, it doesn't block future upgrades, it doesn't prevent progression later. The game fully expects you to move items around, rearrange storage later, and change how you use the freighter over time. You're not supposed to get it right the first time. And if for whatever reason freighters still feel like overwhelming right now, that's exactly why I built episode 2 and 3 to explain why this phase feels uncomfortable. Quick pause here for a second. If you're watching this and thinking, okay, that makes more sense now, hitting the like tells YouTube this kind of explanation is useful. And if you're coming back to the game after a long break, or just, trying to enjoy No Man's Sky without it turning into homework, subscribing means you'll get the rest of this series exactly in this order. No pressure. All right, let's get back to it. There are a few things that might feel scary, but really aren't. Moving items off your exosuit, using freighter storage before you might understand the upgrades, not knowing where things will eventually go. Yeah, it might seem a little bit scary, but actually, here's the reframe. No Man's Sky doesn't punish early storage. Nothing you do here removes access to anything later. Nothing locks you out of better layouts. Nothing breaks. The game gives you time to explore and to learn more about the freighter storage. If there's one thing that causes frustration later, it's not the wrong storage choice. It's trying to future-proof too early. When players try to design the perfect setup before they even really understand how they actually play, all they end up doing is creating pressure the game never really asked for. Your freighter isn't supposed to be optimized yet. It's just supposed to be useful. Storage decisions start to matter later, after your habits have formed. After you know what you want to collect often, what you're going to ignore, what you enjoy doing the most. That's when organization becomes valuable. Until then, freighter storage is intentionally flexible, expandable, and forgiving. Nothing you place today prevents a better setup tomorrow. So if freighter storage still feels scary, that doesn't mean you're behind. It means you've reached the part of the game where choices slow down, not shut doors. Your freighter grows with you, not ahead of you. In the next episode, we'll talk about freighter upgrades and what's worth touching early and what's better to be left alone until later. Because like storage, nothing breaks, everything just takes time.